In July of 2025, three sisters flew across the country, walked up to their parents' house, and pulled off a real-life rescue mission to save their little sister. They succeeded, and then they were arrested for it. As shocking as this sounds, it actually happened. While many people look forward to spending moments and making memories with their parents, Zariah, Nia, Jazzy, and Desi would rather start their lives all over again without theirs. We've seen family vloggers crash and burn before, but never like this. To have 4 out of 5 of your own kids call you out for being abusive and even go as far as moving out just to be out of reach. This is a new record set for terrible parents out there. This isn't a scandal about sponsorships or fake parents. This is the story of a real family, popularly known on social media as the Lit family.
My family so much, it's what I saw straight up. We rich forever, we stuck together. We gon' blow like a feather, no matter the weather. We play together, so we stuck forever. They mess with you as pressure. I go to whoever. This one for my family. I go hard for my family. Never switch on my family. Ooh.
Their parents carefully built an empire on the illusion of a perfect family. Millions followed them for their wholesome challenges and daily vlogs. But that perfect picture they painted was actually a trap, a prison. And slowly, one after another, the very kids whose smiles and skits built their whole online kingdom began to run away. They started telling their true story, a story so serious and troubling that it ended with police cars, criminal charges, and sisters turning themselves in at a jailhouse door. The image they had carefully built over time came crashing down when this video went viral.
Yep, you want to hang out with a boy instead of going to a sister. Yeah, that's what happened. You gotta stop being like that. You gotta stop being like that, Jazzy. You gotta make the right decision. Your decisions are bad. Your decisions are bad. Don't hit me. Don't touch me. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna go to jail if you keep touching me. I'm tired. I'm telling you, you can't keep doing that, baby. Stop hitting me. You can't hit me. You just hit me. I got it on camera. I got it on camera. Oh, you cuss your mama out on camera? Wow. Wow. You just cuss your mama out. Ooh, you going up. God bless you. All because of a boy. You want to bring a boy in the house. You don't even know him. You don't know the boy. Adios.
This was a clear, unmistakable case of intentional provocation, but not just between random people. It was from a father to his daughter. Here is Jazzy, who was barely an adult at the time, packing her things to leave her parents' house. Not out of a sense of independence or a desire to forge a path for herself in life, but because her parents had frustrated her so much that she could not stay. Viewers were left appalled by the situation, and they made sure to express their displeasure toward what happened, with comments like, "He sounds like my narc ex. Same sing-song tone and everything. This is reactive abuse. I feel sorry for this baby. This is sick. I'm praying for her." And, first off, is he her father? Because the disrespect is insane at this point. Why would he treat her like that? So wrong. It was clear from the get-go that nobody found it normal for a father to treat his daughter that way. He clearly watched her haul things around and didn't make a single attempt to stop her from leaving. His own daughter. Almost as if there had always been bad blood between them. The tight-knit family relationship they made everyone see was a sham, played out for views. From the video, he states the reason for letting her go as being the fact that she allowed boys into the house, people whom she wasn't even familiar with. But that was not the case at all. After leaving, Jazzy put out a video where she explained what actually happened.
So hey y'all, I'm in the car. This is part 2, y'all. So yeah, basically the AC unit was in their room, and before they left, they have a lock on their door, so their door was locked, and they turned the AC off before they left upstairs. So I was burning up hot. The point is, they turned the AC off on purpose upstairs because they wanted me uncomfortable in that house while they went on that trip. So yeah, that's why my man came and he made sure I was straight.
Jazzy had been left in the house without proper air conditioning, and access to the controls was out of her reach because the doors were locked. While her parents accused her of bringing boys into the house, it was actually just her boyfriend who was there with her, not someone strange at all. From her account of the story, her parents expressed no concern for the fact that they'd left their own daughter in such unacceptable living conditions. This is not a case of a family unable to afford basic necessities. Her parents just decided she was not to benefit from something as basic as air conditioning. Their response to her being upset with them for what they had done was to kick her out of the house.
And days went by later, boom. They didn't say nothing to me. Then they came confronting me, trying to talk to me, speaking petty, saying petty things, saying, why am I acting like this? And I'm explaining to them. So I just said, I don't want to talk. Get out my room. And that's when they said, okay, get the F out my house. Both of them told me to get out their house.
No remorse, no empathy, just pure disrespect and disregard for the mental state of their own daughter. The happenings that day were what resulted in the viral video that exposed the dysfunction in the family. As sad a reality as this was not the worst thing the abusive duo parents had done to their daughters. While they were away from the house, they didn't send money to feed Jazzy.
And he making sure I'm straight. He doing everything that a parent was supposed to do. So please don't bring money up. Y'all didn't send me $1 for food. He ordered me food every day for 5 days straight. Not 1 meal a day, two meals a day, 3 meals a day. Like, huh? Make it make sense. So you want to bring up money? You're weird. All that money piles up while you're trying to be funny.
The video only served as fuel to an already burning fire. And now that things were coming out so clearly, all holds were taking off. The real-life happenings in the family were made known by the sisters, one after the other. Zariah, who at that point was already living somewhere else, posted a video where she spoke about how her dad treated her and her sisters like they were housewives.
Me and Naya had to make him breakfast every morning. Eggs, grits, bacon, a full course breakfast every single morning. He would wake one of us up to go make him some food. Also, this was after I had graduated and everything. I had to wake up every single morning, get out of my bed, go downstairs, and basically be King's tutor.
In an ideal home, the path is clear. High school, then college. But in the Lit family home, it was high school, then kitchen duties. If we're being honest, it's not out of place for daughters to cook and get stuff ready in the house. But in this case, their dad had turned it into something else. Nobody has their kids wake up every single morning to make him breakfast, especially when his wife is present and still very active. And from the way she speaks about it, you can tell that it was off. Another basic thing these ladies were deprived of was privacy. Growing up, ladies require more privacy, and that is common knowledge. But on many occasions, they were denied that.
We also wasn't allowed to lock our room door. We still would do it sometimes, but we really wasn't allowed to.
It just comes off the wrong way, any way you try to look at it. Children need to be watched and monitored, but they also need some privacy. It's weird to disallow locking doors entirely. What happens when one of them needs to change clothes? Anyone could easily walk in because, well, privacy is prohibited. When the parents were not instructing that doors should be kept unlocked, they often performed the opposite action. They would lock the doors themselves, restricting their movement. This practice turned the children's bedrooms into makeshift holding cells, creating an environment where the children were treated not as family members, but as prisoners, confined in their own home.
Like, for example, when we was kids, they will take the locks of the room door, the bedroom door. They'll take the whole doorknob off, switch it around to where they can lock it from the outside. So we would have to knock on the door like fucking prisoners. If we have to use the bathroom, bring us our food, like we was in jail. He would open the door to come bring us like peanut butter jelly sandwiches and shit. That right there is a controlling behavior. I don't care what y'all say. Who does that? And then my mom, she was always so sweet. He changed her.
There's no normal or healthy way to raise a child where doing something like that is okay. Some people tried to explain it away. They called what their parents did tough love. They said that the parents were just trying to teach their kids discipline and that the kids were blowing things out of proportion. But when people say things like that, it just proves a point. It shows that this kind of senseless behavior actually makes sense to some people. It shows that there are people out there who will listen to that excuse and agree with it. They had responsibility and discipline. Ain't nothing wrong with it. These kids just feel entitled and lazy. However, the way they parented started to show a clear and repeated theme. As more incidents and stories came to light over time, a single truth became obvious. They did not look at their children simply as their sons and daughters. Instead, they viewed them more like tools or opportunities. They saw their kids as a way to push themselves forward, a chance to reach a piece of celebrity and become stars. Their children were not their family first. They were a means to an end.
This boy too big. Got nothing wrong with on that shit watching your ass. When that shit is embarrassing. You need to know fucking go on TikTok, dog. You should be all slow, dog. Don't be no black. Always want to say you acting a real person on this the whole thing. Man. Don't know that's what I do when I want. They're crazy, dog. 24/7.
They were basically just using their children to make fast and easy money. That is the real reason why, when their kids decided to leave, they didn't handle it the way caring parents usually would. There was no sense of a family losing a son or a daughter. Instead, the whole situation felt cold and businesslike. It seemed more like a record label deciding to cut ties with the musician in a public and embarrassing way. The parents acted as if they had lost business assets, not members of their own family.
Jazzy recorded y'all. You gotta turn her down. Listen to this, y'all, so y'all can hear that Desi gets forced to shoot videos. I got forced to, but I stopped doing that. That's my left. She gets forced to shoot videos.
If you're gonna
Alright,
talk.
go ahead.
The entire operation was driven by a single relentless goal: the pursuit of views and likes, anything that was guaranteed to bring in cash. They would push and pressure their own children to film content, to perform on camera. Then, if those videos didn't immediately pull in money at the speed which they expected, they would turn on the kids. They would shout at them, berate them, and treat them terribly, all because the financial return wasn't quick enough. The family's peace depended entirely on the latest income flow.
I'm sorry, y'all. She was recording. She a little girl.
Yeah, don't worry about that, baby. Hide the wire, sweetheart. Hide the wire. Put the wire on the correct way. Okay? Put the mic on the correct way, baby. Huh? Put your mic on the correct way.
Put your mic on the correct. He's forcing her.
The children were made to film videos even on days where they made it perfectly clear they did not want to. You can hear this exact situation happening in this very video. In the clip, you can hear Desi herself explaining that she doesn't want to continue, yet her father does not listen to her feelings or ask her what's wrong. Instead, all he does is repeat instructions about her microphone, telling her over and over to put it on correctly. And the way he says it, his tone of voice, is not kind or supportive. There's no warmth or encouragement in it at all. It's a cold and impatient command focused only on getting the recording done. Apparently, this kind of treatment was just normal life for this family. The girls never received the level of care, concern, and genuine parental love that every child deserves. This neglect showed up in every part of their lives, even down to the minor but critical things like basic health.
To beg them to go to the dentist. Mind y'all, me and Desi both had got root canals, and that costed money. But the dentist said because we got root canals, like our root canals was our last teeth that we had to get fixed in order to get braces, because we had to get all our teeth to get we had to get all our teeth fixed to get braces. So we got all our teeth fixed to get braces, but the dentist told us we had to get a cap over that root canal or it's gonna get worse. Never got the cap, y'all. Never got the braces. Anyone know what our dad said? He told us, oh, y'all just gonna mess y'all teeth up again. I'm not spending thousands of dollars on braces. First of all, you could spend thousands of dollars on a house and designer things with the money we got, y'all, but you can't give us braces, something that we need to keep our teeth good and our teeth fixed, something you supposed to make sure your child got straight in general. Like, that literally didn't make sense, and that was just so horrible. Like, we already had to keep begging her to take us to the dentist to even get the root canal and all that stuff. Like, it's just a lot.
Things like regular doctor checkups or important dental appointments were constantly ignored and forgotten. The parents' actions, or lack thereof, constantly sent a clear message. They simply did not care. They showed over and over that their children's well-being was not a real priority for them at all.
Like anything, that man has never left y'all life. He's been in your life since day one. Every doctor visit.
Every doctor visit. We barely even had doctor visits. They don't even care about us. They don't even care about our health. We barely even had doctor visits. So just stop that, bro. We never had that actual life. Y'all barely even took us to the dentist, bro. Y'all never even cared about our teeth for real. Y'all would take us to the dentist one time out of every 5 years. Let's talk about it.
They were always much more motivated to spend their money on flashy things for themselves. Buying expensive jewelry, shiny accessories, and designer clothes was a constant priority. However, when it came to spending money on their own children to make their lives better, that motivation disappeared. Using money to improve their children's health, or to simply give them a better and more comfortable lifestyle, was never treated as important. The parents' own desire for luxury and showy items always came first, long before the basic needs and well-being of their kids.
I want to say that they was also paying us $300 a month in that house. $300 a month when they have Katie the Kid Gaming, the Lit Sisters, the Lit Family, and yeah, that's 4. They have 4 channels, and they were only paying us $300 a month. What is $300 a month gonna do for me? Make it make sense. So, like, It's just a lot. I'm also trying to adjust some other things. But yeah, they didn't have no bank accounts, my sister. And we've been using Cash App. They had to use Cash App. We only ever had Cash App. My older sister had to sneak and make a banking account at 19. That's how bad she couldn't make a bank account. They want us to depend on them for $300 for the rest of their life. I never received more than $500 a month. I never received more than $500, if we being for real. We have 4 channels. One channel that is specifically called The Lit Sisters, dedicated to me and my sisters, and we never even got half of that money. Never even got half of that money. We never been able to keep the money off our own channel to ourselves. It was always given to them. And they think this is okay. They think it's okay to call their children broke, call their child broke, and say we need a job, we ain't got this. They think it's okay to say, oh, y'all don't see them wearing wigs no more. What? Y'all don't see them wearing wigs no more because they can't afford it, they can't get it. What you mean? I get wigs for free. I'm grateful for that part anyways. But she had the audacity to say that, and that's just really proving that you just taking all your child money and you're just doing them wrong. But yeah, they didn't set us up for nothing. And I've been working since I was 13. Like, if you go on The Lit Sisters, any channel, you scroll down, you will see me when I was on them YouTube channels since I was young. And I never got paid more than $500 a month. And now I'm 18 now, and they just threw me out with nothing. Not even half of the money I've ever made. Nothing. The only money I had was the money I tried so hard to save up at 18 because of them. The money that I tried hard to save up at 18. The 300.
All the heavy spending was just for the parents. It's true that kids the ages of Jazzy and Desi might not have the need for very expensive things, but they also didn't channel any of the money they made toward the older siblings. They had to figure out life by themselves, not because they wouldn't have appreciated the help, but because their parents didn't offer that help in the first place. On top of completely neglecting their daughters and trying to use them until they had nothing left to give, these parents were also physically violent. Very sadly, the worst case of this cruelty was aimed at one person in the family, the youngest daughter, Desi. Her daily life inside the Lit family home was not fun or happy. It was a cycle of physical harm and mental torment. While her older sisters eventually found ways to get out when they felt they had to, Desi was not in the same position.
Holding her down while they try to dig in her pocket for her phone. And by the way, that's what King told me. King told me when I called him earlier, they were holding her down. They were holding her arms while they were trying to get her phone out of her pocket because she wouldn't give it to them because she didn't want to shoot him because she ain't want to shoot a skit. She ain't give them her phone. They got mad.
We gonna worry about our sister. We gonna worry about our sister if we want to.
Worry about our sister? That's crazy.
Like,
she was too young and legally underage, which meant she couldn't just pack up and leave when things got too bad. She was trapped, forced to endure the abuse for a much longer period of time. When Jazzy got kicked out of the house, Desi actually tried to go with her.
Part before when Desi jumped out the window and she tried to come with me. So Desi ended up jumping out the window, boom. And they didn't see her, but they ended up coming out because Desi wasn't in her room no more. And they came out and it was like, I'm calling the police, y'all going to jail. Once they seen that Desi had her bags and she was coming with me. But at the moment, I was trying to hurry up and go, but I didn't have no connection on my phone. And once I walk out that house and leave the house, where the Wi-Fi is at, there's no connection. And Desi's phone was on at that time, so I used Desi's phone to try to get in contact with my sisters to get me a ride because I have no car, no nothing, no transportation. But they was having technical difficulties, so while they were trying to get that situation together, my dad was still out there with the camera all outside, walking up and down the driveway while I'm moving my suitcases down the driveway in hot weather, trolling us, talking about something, we going to jail, this and that, saying who gonna bond y'all out, saying I hit him, just keep saying I hit him and he going to jail, we both going to jail, Desi going to jail for jump out the window. I'm surprised they didn't even post that. He was just laughing and smiling in our face, trolling us, like it was making me so mad. And that's when the police came. He tried to tell the police I hit him. He showed the police that same recording that y'all see on TikTok of me screaming and yelling and when I hit his hand. He showed the police that, and the police came to me and said, he can't do nothing about that. I didn't do anything. He was antagonizing me. I wasn't wrong. Both parts were wrong or whatever. So yeah, and he also said Desi's 15 years old and she can't go with me, but I could go. So my man ended up getting an Uber and I left, and that's why Desi could.
Unfortunately, Desi did not have the legal freedom to leave her parents' house and go live with her sisters. Because she was a minor, her parents were legal guardians, and the law granted them sole custody over her. They had the power to decide where she lived. However, the simple fact that a 15-year-old child was willing to run away from her own home tells you everything you need to know. When a younger teenager feels that the danger and pain of living without parental love is better than staying with her own family, it serves as all the proof required. It shows, beyond any doubt, that her parents failed in the most basic way. It demonstrates that they were not just bad parents, but among the very worst you could find. That moment was the start of Desi's suffering getting much worse inside the very building that should have been her safe space. The space she should have been able to call home. Conditions in the house became so terrible that Desi was forced to find creative and clever ways just to contact her older sisters and ask them for help. That was necessary for one simple, harsh reason. Her parents had taken all of her own devices away from her. One idea she came up with out of pure desperation was to leave secret messages for her sisters. She did this by typing out her pleas and questions into the search bar on her older sister's YouTube account, which she still had access to. She would leave these search terms as a silent digital cry for help, hoping her sisters would see them and come to understand the trouble she was in. Jazzy, help me. This is Desi. Your dad threw me to the hard floor. I just want to die today. I don't want to be alive. Pushed to the ground and left with bruises by her own father. This was the kind of painful ordeal she was forced to endure. She had to live through these moments because the law placed a constraint on her. It prevented her as a minor from simply running away from home. In her search for a way out of the situation, she found another method to reach out to her sister for help. Since her own phone was taken away, she began secretly using her younger brother's phone. She would use his device to send messages and make contact, finding a small window of opportunity to let her sisters know what was happening to her when no one else was looking.
There's literally blood still on my shirt. I'm just trying to keep the shirt on because evidence.
How did it happen to your face, Desi?
I'm running down the street with my bags. Out of nowhere, I see him behind me running after me with no shoes on. Dad's running behind me with no shoes on. I'm running, I'm speed running. I still don't know where to be found. So he catched up, he grabbed two of my bags, he yanked it out my hand. I said, give me my bags back, I'm not going in the house with y'all. He says, I don't give your ass back in this house, it's over with for you. Your life is over with. You ain't phone and you're going to jail. So I walk back because there's stuff in my bags that I need, so I go back. There's no point. So when I go back, BJ King, mommy just standing there watching. And they always just watching. And then I finally went up there and I'm just standing there. He's saying, being evil, get in the house. And I'm saying, no, I don't want to go in the house. He said, get in the motherfucker. Not going in the house just so y'all can put your hands on me. He says, Mommy says, what do you think you're doing? And BJ says, so where you thought you was going?
The stories that came out were always the same, all revolving around different forms of abuse. And the main person carrying out that abuse was always her father. Throughout all of this, their mother never stepped in to help her own daughters. Her choice to stay quiet and say nothing while her children suffered sent a message that was much louder than she probably ever realized.
But yes, y'all did hit Desi. Please don't act like I wasn't there and seen with my own eyes. Because my mom, she be lying so bad. When she was downstairs when I seen the altercation between me and my sister, I literally seen it myself. He went in that room and grabbed her by her jacket and was slanging her and throwing her. She out in a hoodie and he had her on the floor. And Desi can tell y'all right now, Merch, she can get on this camera and tell y'all that he was choking her by her hoodie. He had her like this in her hoodie. He standing up, had her down there in the hoodie, and he finally let go. And she took her breath, but she couldn't breathe. You was choking her, and my mom want to say, "Oh no, he didn't. She hit her lip on the bed," because while that altercation was happening, Desi was on in her room while that happened. She tried to say, "Oh no, that didn't happen because of that," because her lip is bust. And when he was doing all that with her, he has rings on his finger, so he was pulling her and yanking her, and Desi was pulling herself. So y'all know when something happened, you gonna end up busting your lip when a grown man is pulling on you and like yanking you and throwing you and just like doing all that with strong man strength with big hands, and she trying to move and get off me and break out. You know you're gonna have some type of mark on you, especially because girls' skin are more like delicate, like, you know. And I seen that happen though too. I seen that happen.
For a person who was supposed to protect them and be a positive example for them, she seemed perfectly content with just two roles, always taking her husband's side no matter what he did, and giving special, lenient treatment to her youngest son. She spoiled the boy while her daughters were left to fend for themselves. While Desi was finally able to call her sisters using her brother's phone, this method came with a major problem. Her younger brother had been heavily influenced, some might say brainwashed, to believe that their parents were always right and that his sisters were always in the wrong. Because of this, he was not a reliable ally. On many occasions, when Desi was in the middle of an important call, he would interrupt. He would try to cut the conversation short or rush her off the phone, worried that she might say something that would get them all in trouble or contradict their parents' version of events. So even this small lifeline was fragile and constantly under threat.
Depressed, I'm going through it. I need to get out.
Did the police come see you today?
Oh, let me tell you about that. I can't tell her about that. She's literally asking me a question about the police.
I said,
He wants his phone.
buddy, why you can't let us talk to her real fast? Like,
He wants his phone. He's being weird.
just say it really fast.
Bro, the cops came to the house. I'm going downstairs. Every time, let me tell her. Can I tell her? Look at how goofy this
King,
is.
look, you're right here. You're right there. Just let us talk to her.
Goofy. I can't even explain. You gave the phone. You told me talk to Naya. You came to my door.
All right, say it.
Said no then.
King, why you being mean? Desi, hurry up and say it.
The cops came to the door.
And they said,
Shut up.
Why she can't talk? Can she
He
talk?
won't let me.
Oh my God.
This nigga talk about. He mad because I'm gonna say what's really.
Hurry up. Just say it before he takes his
Yo, the cop. He's talking about.
Desi's reports of being physically abused were not just mere speculation or lies. She had enough evidence in the form of pictures to prove that she was actually being handled violently. In the middle of all the ongoing abuse and filled with worry for her sister, Desi's older sister decided to take action. They picked up the phone and called the police on their own parents. They made this call in a direct attempt to have someone check on their sister's well-being. Their hope was that this outside intervention could possibly rescue Desi from the confined and controlled situation, the cage that their parents had placed her in. It was a desperate measure, taken to use the law to force a way into the home and reach her.
Yo,
No problem.
you have a daughter, Sanaya?
She lives in Florida,
Okay.
the oldest daughter.
Okay.
She's the one who probably called.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She, you have a 15-year-old?
Yeah.
And I don't want to mispronounce her name.
Y'all need anything from us, let us know. My last name is Moore.
Mr. Moore.
They spelled it wrong.
Oh.
It's M-O-O-R-E. My new little name tag is supposed to be on its way.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't got here yet.
All right.
So, all right, if you need anything from us, don't hesitate to reach out to us, okay? Do y'all have a landline phone?
No.
I'm assuming that she's with y'all pretty much 24/7. So if something was to happen, she'd have some way. Whatever Did you just finish that, or are you going in the 10th grade? 10th grade. How long y'all been up here in Georgia?
We've been here like 5 years now.
Okay.
We just recently.
What's your date of birth? You want to speak?
But what did her parents do in response? The same thing they always did whenever their daughters accused them of anything wrong. They immediately turned to social media. They went online and posted a video. In that video, they publicly called out their daughter Nia, labeling her a rat and criticizing her. Their main complaint was that she had called the police on them. Instead of addressing the serious concerns behind the call, they chose to use their platform to shame and insult her for taking action. The caption reads, "For everyone saying call the cops, CPS, Zinnia did it. Here y'all go." They did a well-being check on Desi. She's perfectly fine. No marks, no bruises, nothing. A house full of food, and the AC is on. Case closed. This is just getting out of hand, and it's sad when your own family wants to tear you down in the dirt. But we must keep going. We can't be stopped, and we'll continue to stay positive throughout the hate we receive. Behind this, we still love y'all. The incident established what would become a clear pattern for the parents repeatedly coming online to defend themselves. And the truth behind these videos is that they were never created with the genuine goal of healing their family or fixing the problem. They were simply tools to strike back, ways to return what they saw as blows that their daughters were sending their way. In their eyes, they were not dealing with their own children. They were engaging in an open war with opponents they themselves had raised. At every turn, they chose to escalate the conflict instead of making any real effort to calm the situation down and find peace.
Let me address this because I seen a comment which I knew was off a fake page because they're the only one who knows that Desi was doing that. In my video, she was about to show her arm, but she had on her arm. She was telling me when he was dragging her and banging her head to the ground, he ended up scraping it off and making it worse. And mind you, y'all, they knew that Desi was doing this to herself and they didn't care. They take mental health as a joke. They literally think she's a joke. Desi told us he came to her and put the camera in her face and he was like, oh, you're depressed, you're faking depression. What? He came to her recording her saying that she's faking depression in her room, and she was telling him to get out, because it was early in the morning he came in her room. Because mind you, they were seeing all the videos we were posting and how I was recording Desi anytime we got a chance to talk to her. Oh, and another thing, they only put her door back on for the live. Before the live, my mom was like, babe, hurry up and put her door back on, And right after the live, they took her door right back off the hinges. And I actually could insert a clip of a screenshot of both of the doors off when we were talking to Desi. Here's the video when they took both doors off the hinges, literally both doors, so she couldn't have no door.
Desi's abuse continued for a long time, until finally, one day, her older sisters made a decision. They decided that they'd seen enough and could not allow their sister to suffer a single day longer. They agreed it was finally time to break her out of that house. However, that was not the official reason they went to the house that day. As Nia explains it, they had already made a separate plan to go to the house in order to pick up Jazzy's personal belongings and things she had left behind. The mission to rescue Desi became an urgent goal within that other, more ordinary errand.
Yes, y'all can see in this video, this is me and Zaria throwing stuff at Desi's window to get her attention. Now let me explain. So y'all remember this, and y'all remember these messages, or what Desi was typing on the YouTube trying to reach out to us. But mind y'all, while all that was going on, we were already going to be on the way to Atlanta to go get the rest of Jazzy's stuff. While we were on the way to Georgia, Desi reached out to us and told us everything that was happening, that she was being used for trying to run away. So by the time we get there, Jazzy ran in the house to try to go get her stuff. And me and Zari, we can't just run in the house. We can't just run in the house because we don't live there. Jazzy had consent to go in the house to go get her stuff. We didn't because we don't live there. So we want to see Desi, so we're throwing stuff out her window to get her attention. And being the sisters we are, we're not just going to accept that our sister is being used. So that's when I see my dad. And then when Jazzy's running down there with Desi, he attempts to grab Jazzy. And in result of him trying to grab Jazzy, that's when the fight broke out.
Their plan to get Desi out by any means possible was fueled by her cry for help while they were already headed to the house. And honestly, nobody can blame them for reacting the way that they did. They had endured one too many heartbreaking video calls with Desi, where she narrated her trials at the hands of her parents. When the opportunity to help their sister presented itself, they were quick to grab it. Unfortunately, things didn't go as smoothly as they had hoped they would. Their plan to get Desi out hit a major obstacle: their father. He tried to physically stop Jazzy from taking Desi with her. This immediate resistance led to a confrontation, and a fight broke out right then and there. What was supposed to be a quiet escape turned into a chaotic and violent struggle at the very moment they tried to leave.
When the fight broke out. And that's when the battery charge came in effect. I'm not saying that we did anything to him, but I'm also not saying we didn't.
Once again, their parents saw this as an opportunity to double down on their position of war. Instead of trying to chase them down to get their daughters back, or even appealing to them to sit and talk about what issues they were having, they allowed them to go, because they had an even more shocking plan: to press charges against their own kids. More and more, as the story of the Lit family kept unfolding all over the media space, people could not help but take sides with the daughters against their abusive, unremorseful parents, with comments like, "I feel like the dad's a narcissist because there's no way you treat your daughters like this. And then the mama, she's just doing anything." And, "Yes, thank God y'all saved your sister. I'm still on y'all's side." It was easy to see that most people watching the situation could clearly see through the parents' excuses. The public could recognize the abuse that the parents were dealing out to their children. Because of this, a widespread feeling developed among the viewers and followers. They shared a common desire to see the kids free. They wanted all the children to get out from under the control of those two adults. "Our parents pressed charges for me and all my sisters. We are getting ready to turn ourselves in tonight. Please send numbers for the best bondsman in Douglasville, Georgia." Besides their 4 daughters and their youngest son, King, there was another sibling. He was much quieter and not very well known, and he existed mainly in the background of the family's life. His name is BJ. While he had shown up in a small number of videos on their YouTube and TikTok channels, he was never a major part of the public show that was the Lit family. He was not a central character in their online content. He stayed on the edges, out of the main spotlight that was always focused on the others.
There you go. There. Happy birthday
Fudge cookies.
What? No, you went too early. Munchie did. No, you went too early. We didn't even get to finish the word.
However, he later made the choice to get involved in the whole public drama. He decided to step in when he felt he was in the right position to speak up, and use that position to speak against his sister. By doing this, he was clearly choosing to take sides, and the side he chose was with his parents. He publicly aligned himself with them in the conflict.
And look, dude, y'all fans want to know what Desi at. What Desi at? They want to know what Desi at. Man, y'all let them know Desi okay. Why y'all want to show them Desi? Because Desi not at the house in Atlanta. Where the fuck is Desi? Someone find Desi. But nah, though, man, Desi was Zarya somewhere, man. Somewhere. And, bruh, nobody ever took nothing from me in jail. And you know what crazy, dude? The same person that told my sister that is the same nigga I've been to it. You hear me? So y'all already see how that shit go. And I really don't give a fuck. I don't. Like, I take it up with the whole world. Like, real shit. And the y'all like, bitch ain't never been through that. Them kids is spoon-fed. See, look, this is what happened to kids who've been spoiled. They don't get what they want, they go fucking bonkers. That's what happened to kids when they get spoiled, fam. And them kids fucking spoon-fed. They've been given shit their whole life. Their whole fucking life. They didn't have to work for a fuck thing. Nothing. At all.
BJ believed that his sisters were acting spoiled because they were not given what they wanted. His take on this comes from the story his parents were spreading about why they seized Desi's devices. In one of the many videos their mom posted, she said that Desi was acting up because her devices were taken from her, and that they were taken from her because she did something bad.
I still had her phone and tablet. I had all her electronics because I didn't give them back to her. And this is part of the reason why they came here and took her, because Desi got all her electronics taken away for the bad things she was doing. Not because if she didn't want to shoot a skit. She didn't get her stuff taken because she didn't want to shoot a skit. I just got 2 more packages that came in the mail that Desi has ordered. I'm not going to say what it is, but yes, Desi has been doing very bad things and very inappropriate things that she should have not been doing. She has been disrespectful to us, talking back to us, raising her hand at us, trying to fight us. She's been on something. That's why you hear in the video when Katie was like, "What are you on?" We found out later she was on something. Never even knew. In a million years, I would have never thought my daughter was doing these kind of things.
The main issue with her version of events is that she's never shown any proof of her claims. For a pair of people who are clearly not shy in front of a camera and who have no problem calling out their daughters publicly on the internet time and time again, it's very difficult to believe their excuse that they simply don't want to share the evidence. If they truly had solid proof of Desi's alleged bad behavior, posting it would be the easiest way to win the public argument and make their daughters look wrong. The fact that they refused to do so, despite having every opportunity, makes their story seem weak. It's far more believable that the story isn't based on any real evidence at all, but is instead something they made up entirely to justify their own actions. There are clear videos to prove that they are abusive, but they keep denying the accusations. So lying to appear right is not beyond them at all. Suddenly, she respects her privacy and sanity when there's a video where she clearly disregards the same person.
What? I'm just showing them that you're fine because they think you're not fine. She's fine. But her sisters done bashed her so much she don't even want to go on here. She fine?
I'm not fine. Stop putting me on that camera.
You fine. You living, you breathing. They all on here bashing you, talking drunk on the live, so making it like you hurt or something. So I'm just showing them that you fine.
It's nearly impossible to believe anything the mother says or claims. Looking at her actions so far, she's only done one of 2 things. Either she has stayed completely silent and mute through all the terrible things her daughter has endured, or she's actively supported all of it, backing up her husband one way or another. Given this, it's very unlikely that BJ was simply sold a lie. He was probably told a false story about Desi doing something bad or being in the wrong. Then, without doing any proper investigation of his own, without trying to hear a sister's side of the story, he simply created a lie and picked a side based on it. He made a choice without looking for the full truth. In order to bump up their public reputation, their parents went as far as sending messages to people, requesting help with defending them online. Hey, you believe all that stuff from KD? I noticed y'all stopped linking up. I met his mom 3 times. I think this is crazy. She asked me to defend her character on here. And I'm like, I don't want to get involved. I haven't been on here in years. I wouldn't get involved, but that's up to you. I know everyone have their own experiences with them. Mine wasn't good. From the image, the name of the user is blurred out, but the message is clear. The first message states how the mom asked for their character to be defended online, and the person said they didn't want to be involved. And the responder also said their experience with them wasn't good at all. Even trying to be cunning ended up working against them. Apparently, their bad behavior had gone outside the bounds of their own home, and word on the street was they weren't worth defending. As sad as the situation was, Zariah, Nia, and Jazzy still had to face the legal consequences for their actions. Taking their underage sister away from their home was clearly against the law because they were not her legal guardians. Their parents were. On top of that charge, their parents added a battery charge from the fight that broke out, and they were not willing to drop it. With these serious charges against them, the sisters made a difficult decision to turn themselves into the authorities. They chose to face the legal system for what they had done, even though their only goal had been to rescue Desi from abuse.
So y'all, we're on the way right now. I'm with Jazzy. Jazzy. Tell them hi. We're turning ourselves in. This is my TikTok of us turning ourselves in. So we're turning ourselves in, guys. This is the look. How far are we? Tell them we are 5 hours away. We 5 hours away, y'all. And yeah, pray for me, because I don't want to be up in no cell. Okay, y'all, as y'all can see, we're already at the jail. OMG. I'm writing down numbers all on my arm so I can make sure. I already took all my jewelry off. I just didn't take my nose piercings and my earrings out. I really don't feel like doing that. But sadly, we're going in. Okay, y'all, we're right here. We're at the front, turning ourselves in. Come on, we continue to wait. Come on. Let's go inside. Please, let's get this. This is shh. I'm getting scared. Put the report out. Yes, I know. Can you help? No, you just forgot them. Oh well. Y'all, we'll get back to y'all.
Y'all, huh?
Thankfully, they did not have to spend long in holding. In a matter of hours, they were allowed to pay bond and leave the prison. While their parents might have had the first laugh, seeing that they went to prison, their sisters had the last laugh at the end of the day. They had gotten their sister out of the house, and they were out of prison. At first, nobody involved would say exactly where Desi was located. However, they all admitted to one important fact, that she was somewhere safe and being cared for. A few weeks after the incident, Desi herself appeared online. She posted a video directly to the public. In that video, she assured everyone watching that she was all right and doing okay. And very importantly, she used her own voice to confirm the stories. She stated clearly that she had indeed been the victim of physical abuse at the hands of her parents, confirming the worst fears about what had been happening at her home.
Hey y'all, it's Desi. I'm just checking in to let y'all know that I am safe. I've been safe. Obviously, you guys know that I did run away. I just couldn't deal with the mental and physical abuse anymore. And it was just a very, very toxic household, y'all. Like, I could not be there. He would just beat on me when he wanted to, when I didn't do videos for him. It was just terrible. Like, I couldn't be there. Like, he would just take up my doors out the hinges. I would have no privacy as a young 15-year-old. It was just terrible, y'all. But I would never want to go back there. Like, I would really rather be homeless than go back to that terrible household. Like, I had bruises, scratches all over my face. My lip was busted. My face was thrown to the ground. I would not want to go back there. I would rather be homeless than go back to that household. I do have a caseworker that is working with me to put me in a better place. My sisters are going to keep you guys updated. Thank you to all my fans for the love and support. Everybody just keep praying for me and my sisters. And we do have a GoFundMe if you guys want to help. It's in me and my sister's bio. And again, thank you for all the love and support. I'm out.
In an attempt to either spite their daughters or stir some trouble, their parents adopted another daughter. Whatever they're trying to achieve by enlarging the family instead of fixing their already broken one, nobody knows. Hopefully they've worked on their bad sides and aren't about to chase away their fifth daughter. While the story is still unwinding and there's possibility that new things will come up, for now, the worst seems to be over.